Here's 4 examples on adding guesses together for method of undetermined coefficients, and these are the times when you have to modify them. So this first one here, right, we have y double prime plus y prime equals 2x cubed minus 1 plus 4 e to the 7x plus 13 sine of 2x. By the way, the right-hand side here is the exact same in all 4 of these examples as we go down. It's the ODE on the left that's the left-hand side of the equation that's changing, which is changing the homogeneous solution, and that actually determines what you guess for y particular, in addition to what's over here. So here we go. The initial guess for this, right? We have a third-degree polynomial, we have an exponential, and we have a trig function. So we're going to write down the normal guess first, and that would be ax cubed plus b x squared plus cx plus d. And then we're adding to that capital E, and then we got the exponential to the 7x, and we got plus, what's after EF? Cosine of 2x plus g sine of 2x. All right, but now let's take a look. We go and look at our homogeneous solution. We have one of the roots of this is 0 in the characteristic polynomial. The other root is -1. So you end up with a c1 plus c2 times e to the negative x. We don't have e to the negative x in here, so we don't have to worry about the c2 times e to the negative x, but we do have this constant. And that is definitely here. It's in this d, right? It's d times 1. So in here, we have to modify only this portion of the guess. We have to multiply it by x. Let me just try and squeeze that in there. So x plus. All right, so we don't have to touch the exponential part because that will still work. We don't have to touch the trig part because that will still work. There, e to the 7x isn't one of the homogeneous solutions. Neither is cosine 2x, neither is sine 2x. We just have to modify the polynomial. All right, so moving on. So next up, we've got this one here. We have y double prime minus 4y prime minus 21y equals the same thing, 2x cubed minus 1 plus 4 e to the 7x plus 13 sine 2x. So again, we're going to write down our same guess, but we know there's going to be a problem at the e to the 7x. So first, though, we'll write down the polynomial guess. That's a x cubed plus b x squared plus cx plus d. No problems there. We don't have any of that in the homogeneous solution. It's e to the 7x, e to the negative 3x. But now I do have a problem. Usually I'd write capital E, and then I'd write e to the 7x, but that's one of the homogeneous solutions. So I'd have to modify this by writing it as capital E times x, and then exponential to the 7x. And that will be a valid guess that will work out. And then the last bit, the sine and cosine, we can go ahead and put those in. So that's f cosine of 2x plus g sine of 2x. All right, got a little scrunch there. All right, moving on to the next one. We have y double prime minus 14y prime plus 49y equals the same thing. So this one we're going to have two problems with the e to the 7x term. So let's just go through the polynomial. We're going to guess cubic. So ax cubed plus, ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. None of those are one of the homogeneous solutions, so we're fine. But then, right, I have my capital E, and I can't write e to the 7x because that's one of the homogeneous solutions. And I can't write x e to the 7x because that's the next homogeneous solution. So you actually have to write x squared e to the 7x. And then that piece will work to solve for the 4 e to the 7x in the right-hand side. And then again, right, we have to copy over f cosine of 2x plus g sine of 2x. Right, now for the last one, I didn't have quite enough room, but I, just barely, so I'll move that up. So for this one, new differential equation on the left-hand side, we have y double prime plus 4y, same thing to guess for on the right-hand side. The homogeneous solution to this, it has roots of positive and negative 2i, so it ends up being c1 cosine 2x plus c2 sine 2x. So this one ends up modifying the sine and cosine. So our polynomial is the same, it's still ax cubed plus b x squared plus cx plus d. And then no e to the 7x's in the homogeneous solutions, so it's going to be capital E times the exponential to the 7x. But then I have to put an x around both of these. So I'll do, f times x times cosine of 2x plus g times x times sine of 2x. And that's the idea. So if you can do the guesses by themselves for just a polynomial or just an exponential or just trig functions, then you can do the guesses when the right-hand side is sums of polynomials and exponentials and trig functions. And then you get the very tedious endeavor of actually solving for all these constants. And again, I highly recommend you just do one guess at a time to solve for one part of the right-hand side at a time. So you can solve for the 2x cubed minus 1 by just doing the derivatives and plugging them into the left-hand side of the differential equation for this ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Then you can solve for just the 4e to the 7x by putting in the exponential part and then solving for just that constant. They're not going to these constants won't cross-contaminate across guesses. And then you can solve for the 13 sine 2x by just looking at the part that you guessed for the trig function.